time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating and linker. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.
Yo, what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in. WGJS Radio, Mel from Queens, Sports Talk, Our World Media Network. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in on this Saturday. We got a lot to talk about, but we're going to get started with the playoffs. And I would say probably the most interesting series out right now. Well, one of the most interesting series in the NBA playoffs right now is definitely the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. The Knicks won another one, so they lead the series now 2-1. Andre Barrett, man, he had a good game. I was saying like a week ago that it's Andre Barrett, Randall and Brunson. They all needed to play well in order for the Knicks to really win this series. And for the most part, each game you got 2 out of 3 to play well. If you can get all 3 clicking at the same time, and I'm not like a Knicks fan, but I'm a realist. I just call it the way I see it. But if you can get all 3 of them clicking at the same time, it ain't gonna be, the Knicks. That's what they're gonna take for the Knicks to win this series. I wouldn't count out Cleveland. The Knicks is gonna have to just really finish them if they want to win. Cleveland, they loaded. I don't know what happened yesterday, only scoring 79 points, but even though they only scored 79 points, they still held the Knicks to under 100 points. The Knicks had 99 points. So their defense was there, but their offense wasn't there. So the crucial game for the Knicks is probably, I would say, Game 4. The Knicks got to win the next game at the Garden to go up 3-1. Because if you allow the Cavs to win this game and you go up 2-2, the series is tied 2-2 going back to Cleveland, I believe that Cleveland's going to win the series. I believe the key to the Knicks winning this series is the Knicks, they have to win Game 4. If the Knicks win Game 4, I say you can kind of put the series in the bag. Because I feel like unless there's some major injury to somebody on the Knicks, you up 3-1, we seen maybe we saw the Cavs in the finals. We saw Golden State against OKC. It was a couple years ago. The Phoenix Suns, they came back on the Lakers. Kobe, the Nash Suns came back against Kobe and the Lakers, and they beat the Lakers. The Lakers were up 3-1, and the Suns came back and they won that series. So it happens rarely. So I ain't gonna like dismiss it, but at the same time, it's very rare that it does happen. So if the Knicks can go up 3-1, I can see the Knicks winning this series. RJ Barrett has to keep that energy. Donovan Mitchell played okay, but LeVert, Garland, Mobley, the Cavs, they're gonna come out. They know they can't afford to go down 3-1. So they're gonna come out with a certain type of energy, and the Knicks are gonna have to match that like straight out the gate, and that's what it is. So yeah, I said it before the series started that these were the 2 teams that anything could happen, and to me, they were the 2 most scariest teams in the playoffs. Now I say scariest teams in the playoffs not because I feel like the Knicks could go all the way and win it. I feel like the Cavs have maybe a better roster to be contenders, and I feel like they can represent the East in the championship and possibly upset somebody, not the Knicks. But at the same time, you have the Knicks that can upset a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers. But don't sleep on the Cavaliers if they got to play like a Boston or the Bucks. And, I could see them possibly upsetting them. So it can go either way with these 2 teams. They just so unpredictable, probably the 2 most unpredictable teams in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting. The Knicks got to get the next game if they want to win this series. I feel if the Knicks win Game 4, they win this series. But with that being said, I also said that the Boston Celtics is going to win the series against the Atlanta Hawks, but Trae Young had to play better. I said last game, before they play, Game 3, the entire starting 5 for the Hawks had double figures, but Trae Young struggled. I said, if you can get that same production from the Hawks and Trae Young, have a good game, then it will be more competitive series. The Hawks will get a win here and there. They ain't gonna win the series, but they can get a win here and there. And everybody from the Hawks starting 5 scored double figures except Collins, and he had 8. So he was right there knocking on the door, double figures. And Trae Young had, did what Trae Young did, 32 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. So Trae Young doing Trae Young things. Jaylen Brown kind of, didn't have a great game, but you had a good game from Smart. Tatum did 29, but Tatum didn't shoot good at all. He was 9 for 22. So it took him 22 shots just to get 29 points. But that's just a little, nobody's perfect. The Boston Celtics, they're going to win this series. They should win this series. If they don't win this series, it would be embarrassing. So I expect them to win that. My biggest surprise, and don't forget you listening to Mel from Queens Sports Talk, WGJS Radio, Our World Media Radio Network. I want to say this. The team that really underestimated me the most, well, I slept on, I guess, was the Denver Nuggets. I actually thought the Minnesota Timberwolves would win this series. I figured like Gobert and Towns would be able to contain Jokic for the most part. And I felt like Anthony Edwards is the best player in the series. Well, the reality is that, the Nuggets playing like the better team. I mean, they were the number 1 team in the NBA. They playing like the better team right now. And, they just dismantling the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves should kind of be embarrassed because you shouldn't be getting you shouldn't be outplayed this bad. I mean, you lost by 9 points this game. The other game, I think they got blown out, but it should be a lot closer, and I feel like it shouldn't be 3-0. There's no way Denver should be up 3-0, man. But it is what it is. A couple things I want to talk about real quick before I get into last night. The matchup that's going on today. The whole Joel Embiid situation, man, that was kind of whack. That was corny because, we all know he should have been suspended. But as we see, the refs pick and choose. You see Draymond. I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of like Draymond, but right is right, wrong is wrong. If you suspend, Draymond, I feel like Embiid should have been suspended or at least ejected. You don't eject Embiid, but you turn around, you eject James Harden. So today, the Sixers are already down 14-4 to the Nets. That game got started off at 1 o'clock. That's going to be an interesting series. I personally felt that the Sixers would sweep the Nets. That's still a possibility. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's injured right now with the game starting off, but the Nets are kind of blowing them out early. I don't see that lasting long, but if they come back and win the game, they just saving themselves alive for another game. So if I was them, I always say play hard, anything has happened, but if I'm the Sixers, I want to close this out. The Clippers and Suns, man, this whole Kawhi Leonard situation, man, that's just what's up with Kawhi, man? Kawhi's always injured, man. I don't get it. You think he's out there, he's ready to go. The Clippers looking all right the first game, and then game 3 he can't play. So they got to win today. They can't afford to go down 3-1. I don't know if he's playing tonight. I'm pretty sure Paul George is still not playing. And then you got the Heat. The Heat and the Bucks. That series is tied. Well, actually, the Bucks are. That series is tied 1-1, and the Bucks. They faced with some injuries. Giannis with the back problems, so they're going into Miami. Anything is possible. Jimmy Butler, man, he get after it, man. He's one of those ones, man. Jimmy Butler get after it. So I respect Jimmy Butler. So the Heat can possibly win that game. And then you got the Lakers and Grizzlies. I don't even want to mention this guy on the Grizzlies that's been talking a lot of smack this week. Trash, man. Because I feel like can you really? Here's a question: if you're not a player who could, meaning like, if your team is not dependent on you to, how can I word it? Because you depend on all your players on your team, even the role players. You need your role player. But if you're not the main guy who's going to be the main difference maker to win that game, should you be talking? Should you really be talking like you one of those dudes when you not? Because that's what he is, man. Coming at LeBron, man. He talking like he's one of those, but you're not one of those players. Your team got to win, and you just talking. That's all it really is. There's nothing else more than that. You know, you're a role player, and it's not wrong. I just feel like maybe I feel like he's just doing it because he want to kind of get, known on social media. So this is the way he's going at it. So, it is what it is. Everybody have their way of doing things, but you talking a lot, but you can't back it up, and the team ain't winning or losing because of you. So, maybe Ja, if that was Ja, it'd be a little different, but, it is what it is. So, that's what it is. It's going to be an interesting, some interesting games today. I'm trying to think, excuse me. So far, has there been any surprises? I don't think there have been any surprises so far. Some people thinking the Lakers winning is a surprise, but the Lakers got to win today. They got to go up 2-1. Don't play around. If Ja ain't playing, don't play around. Don't give him life. You don't want to give a team life, and this team is good without Ja, so don't sleep. I know a lot of people probably thought that the Lakers were going to run over the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 2, but the Grizzlies are well-skilled playing without Ja. They probably well over 500 since Ja been with the Memphis Grizzlies, and they play without him. So they don't need Ja to win. So the Lakers need to keep that in mind. Yes, having Ja makes them better, but they don't need Ja to win games. And you don't want the Memphis Grizzlies winning games without Ja, and he comes back and makes them that much better. So the Lakers got to handle business. Both games in L.A., not just one. But, we're going to see how it go. We're going to leave it there for right now, man. And I thank y'all, man, for tuning in. Mel from Queens Sports Talk, WGJS Radio, Our World Media Network. And it is what it is. The saying, either tap in or miss out. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell. And don't forget, select all if you watching on YouTube. And don't forget, we're on Roku. So spread the word and let everybody know. All right, it's your boy Mel from Queens.
Time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating the linker. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.